Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Delta Home Center and Delta Trailer Sales, your one-stop shop for utility and cargo trailers. Heavy-duty dump and gooseneck trailers, portable buildings, cabins, decks, porches, fences, carports, and site-built metal shops. Located at Exit 7 in Carencro or at deltatrailersales.com.
It's 9 a.m. You just received a voicemail from your boss.
Hey, Janet. Heads up. We got an important meeting coming up Thursday. The big guys are coming into town, so I need you in charge of lunch, and we've got to look good.
Luckily for Janet, she knows a place, and she knows her boss will be impressed.
Honey Baked Ham can cater your next event. Delicious and freshly sliced deli trays, box lunches with sandwich, chips, and dessert. Or try our fresh salad boxes and the perfect touch with a meat and cheese tray. Honey Baked Ham Company.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Carencro Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros fell 8-3 to the Washington Nationals yesterday, dropping Game 3 and the series. Spencer Arrighetti struggled in the loss, lasting just 4 innings while allowing all 8 runs on 7 hits and 6 walks. The Astros will have an off day for travel today as they'll head to Dallas to face the Texas Rangers for 3 games in their last series before the All-Star break, and it'll get underway Friday night from Globe Life Field. In the FIFA World Cup, only 1 game will be on today, and it'll be the 2-time world champions France facing Morocco in the first game of the quarterfinals. Kylian Mbappe and his French side are a 1.5-goal favorite over the Moroccans, and kickoff is at 3 p.m. from Gillette Stadium. In the PGA, the Genesis Scottish Open begins play today from the Renaissance Club in North Berwick, Scotland. The favorites for the Scottish Open are Scotty Scheffler at plus 600, Rory McIlroy at plus 1,000, and Jon Rahm at plus 1,600. Former Astro and 3-time Cy Young Award winner Justin Verlander announced yesterday that he'll retire at the end of the season. At 43 years old, Verlander is the oldest active player in Major League Baseball and will wrap up his 21-year career with the team where it all began, the Detroit Tigers. The New Orleans Saints announced their 2026 training camp schedule yesterday. Camp opens on Wednesday, July 29th with a closed practice before the next 5 sessions are open to the fans. Overall, 10 of the team's 14 practices will be open to the public, including joint sessions with the Cowboys in California and the Jaguars in Metairie. I'm Blake Purser, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. Dynamic duos are nothing new to Louisiana sports fans. Breeze and Colston, Burrow and Chase. And here in Acadiana, we have our very own dynamic duo.
You're beautiful.
It's the big, bald, bearded, and beautiful one, Raymond Parch III.
I'm sexy and I know it.
And the man with the best head of hair in sports talk radio in Louisiana and Mississippi, James Meche. Here is RP3 and Meche on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Good day to you and yours on this Thursday, and welcome in to RP3 and Meche. I am the big, bald, beautiful one, Raymond Parch III, better known as RP3, or as Mr. Bobby says, 2 out of 3. You know, Meatloaf said 2 out of 3 ain't bad, so I'll take it. And I'm joined by the former producer extraordinaire turned multiple LAB award winner and LSWA award winner. He is the son of Iceman. He is 2 degrees himself. The host of the Lowdown with D-Lo joins us yet again. Dawson Iserlow.
What's going on? Let's do it.
There we go, bud. There we go. Appreciate you being here again today.
Oh, you know, kind of my job, but yeah.
It's kind of your job. And you know what else I love?
What's that?
Is that not only are you here and you showed up, you're going to execute at a high level, unlike the Astros starting pitchers of late.
ERAs are up there.
it's the All-Star break couldn't come soon enough for that starting rotation.
Yeah. I don't know if time off's going to fix their problems, but I guess there's a chance. Maybe,
there's a chance. There's a chance. We got a great show lined up for you today. We only got 2 guests. We're going to have Dave Bomer on, another author. We're going to continue our series here during the summer, putting the spotlight on baseball. You know, I'm a big baseball guy, and I love learning more about the history of the game. He wrote a tremendous book about Ford Frick, the 3rd commissioner of Major League Baseball, also one of the more polarizing figures in baseball history. And fascinating read. We're going to have a conversation with Dave Bomer. That's going to be coming up at 11:30. And then at 12:30, we're going to talk Pels and Saints with our buddy Les East of CrescentCitySports.com. He's always top-notch with his insight about what's going on with the Pelicans, or what rather is not going on with the Pelicans. And looking ahead, Saints training camp, we have dates, a ton of open practices this year. Kellen Moore and company, they're like, hey, come on down, see what we're doing. So we'll talk a little black and gold as well. So those are the 2 guests that we have lined up for you on this Thursday. And we'll have plenty of other good stuff to get to. We'll look ahead to the World Cup, right? Quarterfinals, Elite 8, if you will, starts later today, okay, in the afternoon with France, your 2-time World Cup champion. They have that on the resume, right? They have those banners. They're going to be taking on a Morocco team that may be the most underrated team left that no one seems to be talking about. So we'll preview that as well. And we'll also talk about this news that broke about Yahoo Sports offering fantasy college football. Is that a good thing? We'll dive into that. D-Lo's got some thoughts as well. So plenty of great stuff to get to. We also have a poll question of the day, which is Stros related. We'll unveil that in a little while, but let's go ahead and jump right in. Let's get things started. It's time for today's specials.
The fellas can't help with your lunch plans, but they can serve up the top stories of the day in bite-sized pieces. Time to order up today's specials here on RP3 and Meche, presented by Southwest Volkswagen, located at 6184 Johnston Street. Order up.
The special for today is about the Stros and their starting pitching. I'm just going to be straightforward here, okay? Not trying to be cute. The starting pitching in the last 3 weeks or so has been absolutely hot garbage. It just has been. It's been bad. Spencer Arrighetti, who we love, played at UL. A great player for the Raging Cajuns. Remember, he was the pitcher of the month earlier this season. And I don't know if scouting reports got out there or were shared, or if he's tipping his pitches. I'm not for sure what's going on with Spencer, but it's been up and down ever since. And you were hoping, hey, against let's be honest, an average Nationals team, let's get this series win, move on. We got to play the Rangers right before the All-Star break. Let's build some momentum. Let's get to 500 at least before we take time off for the Midsummer Classic. And that didn't happen. Arrighetti was awful. Just awful. He only lasted 4 innings, gave up 8 earned runs on 7 hits, 6 walks. That's the bigger thing that concerns me about what I'm seeing from him in the last month is the walks. He got roughed up, and the Astros bats weren't able to generate enough runs as they lost 8-2 in a game that felt over in the 4th inning. And we've talked about this a lot. You know, are the Stros going to be able to be aggressive at the trade deadline? What do they need? And Dawson and I had a good conversation about this yesterday, about what do they need. And Dawson brought up a valid point when he said, look, they have all these guys that are kind of coming and going with the rotation, right? And you have an abundance of arms. You got to figure out what to do there before making a trade. But I think we need to have an honest conversation. Do they have enough good arms? Because I don't think they do. And let's go through it. The guy that you had pitching, what was that, Monday night? you already sent down to the minors because he's been a train wreck.
Mike Burrows, my goodness.
So Mike Burrows was one of the guys that you were counting on this year to be in your starting rotation, right? He's been sent down to the minors because he's been awful.
Right.
Imai is a basket case. Okay? He just is. He's a roller coaster basket case. At best, you're hoping to get one good outing and then have to survive 2 bad outings with him. Getty, after being pitcher of the month, has looked lost. You were depending on Lance McCullers Jr., and then he was bad. He's down in Sugarland pitching. Hunter Brown's been injured. You moved Javier to the bullpen. This sure does look like a team that needs another arm. To me. Like, if you're going to make a push here, as much as you would love for them to go get a power-hitting outfielder, and look, I don't necessarily agree with Kevin's take that it's the worst hitting outfield in Major League Baseball. I know he hates all the people out there in the outfield. Jake Myers is top of the list. Our guy, who I like a lot, Cam Smith, has regressed, right? He's had a sophomore jinx or whatever, however you want to say it. You need another starting pitcher because you got guys that can't get out of the 4th or 5th inning pitching for you. That's not a recipe for success. I understand it's a new era of Major League Baseball where the days of me watching guys pitch complete games or your starting pitcher going into the 7th inning or maybe the 8th inning before handing it off to the closer, that's not how the game is played anymore, right? That's not how teams are constructed anymore either, Dawson. That's not how that works. So I get it. Bob Gibson isn't going out there and pitching complete game shutouts. I understand that. But you at least need to have your guys consistently be able to get out of the 4th or 5th inning. And right now, they don't have that. They don't have that. I don't think they have enough pitching. I watch them and I go, this is not a team that has enough pitching. I heard the crazy stat on the broadcast last night from Robert Ford where he said in the previous, I'm trying to find it here, the previous 11 games. I thought I had texted it to the group.
You did send the text. I saw it.
It's something like the last 11 games they're giving up, their ERA is over 8. Or is that reverse? The last 8 games, the ERA is over 11.
Last 11 games, ERA is over 8, yes.
And Robert Ford knows his data, by the way. That's his job, to know those things so he can share them on the broadcast.
So I got one counter to you.
But go ahead. I want to have the discussion here because teams have lulls. Pitching staffs go through things, right? Even when they had Garrett Cole and Verlander and Zach Greinke and when Framber wasn't a head case, all those guys had lulls in their season, right?
And tell me this too. We've moved the deadline around. Are we back to the end of July? The trade deadline? Are we doing?
I don't. I mean, I wish. Let me look that up.
Let's see this here. Are we back to July 31? Because that was how it was for a long time, and then they changed things up. Okay, it's August 3rd, so they pushed it back a little bit.
Okay, so you got
you
yourself
have a little bit
another
more time.
You got yourself another 3 weeks, right?
And so, Ronel Blanco has made a rehab appearance. Hayden Wesneski threw 4 innings the other night in Corpus Christi.
Okay, that's the Double-A.
Yes.
So they dress up like the Whataburgers from time to time.
They do. Great sponsor activation down there. Good job, the marketing team. So that's 2 arms that have big league experience and have had moderate big league success. Now, does it feel like a good thing to be relying on guys that have missed multiple seasons due to Tommy John and other serious arm injuries? You know, hey, but you've got to rely on what you have. And the Astros do have 2 competent big league starters supposedly rejoining them in the next 2 weeks. So I think that's what you... Do you have enough time to see if those guys look like it's going to be promising and then, make a move afterwards? I guess that's still a possibility given that you have till August 3rd.
Is Javier, is that a done deal? Is there no way that he can be flexed back in?
I don't know. I mean, he looked bad again last night. I know he didn't give up any runs. He walked 2, gave up a hit, and then
the control
big, deep,
was
long
not
fly. I mean, it's just...
The control's not there. So...
ERA's over 10 for Javier in his 3 outings, by the way.
You know what you really need? I hate to be this way. You know what would really be helpful? Because you know what you're going to get out of Hunter Brown? If you could just get Imai not to be a basket case. Like, you can get through having 2 reliable starters.
Well, and Peter Lambert's been really solid for him.
That's fair. That's fair. Shout out to Mr. Lambert. Let's give him
he was stuck rotting away in Colorado where the ball goes 1,000 feet even if it's hit off the end of the bat. And luckily we got him into normal altitude, and all of a sudden he's a pretty decent pitcher.
So maybe help is on the way, to your point. And I just, that's the other thing. Their farm system isn't chalked with a lot of prospects that other teams are going to want. So you're going to have to give up players to go get another player, right?
Right.
Who are you willing to give up? Like that's the bigger thought process. You know, I keep going to Isaac being the guy because he always gets traded. But is someone going to want to eat that contract? I don't know.
And by the way, you could also have Jeremy Pena being back in the lineup tomorrow, according to Brenton Kemp over at Fantasy Pros. So he's expected to play tomorrow night against the Rangers. I haven't seen that confirmed by, like our Chandler Romes of the world, our super plugged-in Astros sources, but there are at least reports out there swirling around that that Jeremy Pena is expected to play tomorrow night. So you'll get that back. You've got, and by the way, in that outing, it was Sunday when our guy Hayden Wesneski pitched. He threw 46 pitches in Corpus Christi, gave up 2 hits and 1 run. Looked pretty decent. So
that's pretty good. The lineup is not what I worry about. It's starting pitching. And if you're going to make a run here, you're going to have these guys step up because you know what you're going to get out of Hunter Brown. You need Imai not to be a basket case. And you got to have somebody step up to be your number 3 and your number 4 consistently. Am I asking them to be Cy Young caliber pitchers? No. I think the what you're asking them to be, Dawson, whoever's going to be your number 3 and your number 4 in this rotation moving forward, you just need someone to be competent. Like, you need someone that's not going to give up 5 runs. That's not a lot to ask, is it?
The Imai thing is really, it's turning out to be like the biggest swing and miss of this offseason, right? Because it was really thought to be that he was going to be that next reliable arm for you.
And
even
Dana's had a couple of those, by the way, since he's taken over.
Some unfortunate injuries and things of that nature. It's still sitting there going, man, if the Imai signing would have just worked out, this team would be in a really different spot, it feels like right now. And so they've got to get that figured out. And whether that, like, my problem with Imai is, like, with all the investment they put into him and all this, like, what are they going to do with him? Like, what do you... And
You're
now,
stuck?
Look, now, maybe it's one of those classic, hey, man, that elbow's feeling kind of sore, right? Let's put him away for a couple of months and we'll figure it out. Because you're not going to send him down. He's talking about how difficult it was for him to approach transitioning to living in the United States of America. You're not going to send him down to Sugar Land.
Can you imagine him in Corpus Christi dealing with Whataburger night?
I don't think so. I
don't think that's encouraging.
I maybe it's an injury.
You're stuck
thing,
with him.
but
Like you're stuck with him because of the amount of money that you invested. Burrows you can send down. Imai, you've invested way too much money. Like you have to get it work. My question though to you, and I know we're up against it here. I've got about a minute or so. It feels like they're just letting Spencer try to figure it out in live time.
Well, I think he's going to be running out of time when they need to make space for Blanco and Wesneski. So
you think he's going to get sent back down after that?
There's a decent chance. I mean, you're talking about. It's just so weird how good he was at the beginning. And I know Brett Chansey talked about, like, he had a lot of pitcher luck in the first part of the season, right? Some of the next level analytics were saying a lot of hard hit balls that were finding gloves, and he was dancing out of danger. And I get it. But for it to go this south in this much of a hurry is just it's a little bit alarming. But I mean,
the walks and the home runs, I go.
Can we check on JP France?
What's his status?
I think he's been pitching in the minor leagues. Honestly, I haven't heard a thing about him. So
friend of the
I
show, by
that's
the way.
Not great. That
he
is
was
true.
He was a friend of the old RP3 D'Lo and Meche. I do.
Yeah, can I tell you this? Also, something pretty upsetting yesterday. Can I make this a personal thing, real quick?
Yes, by all means.
There was a donut shop I grew up going to.
Oh,
I'm like almost every week. Classic staple of my family. 3 minutes from my house. Was open 24/7 for years and years and years.
Shout out to the West Bank
Terrytown Cafe, and
there we go.
They closed forever yesterday.
Dude,
41 years they were open. Same spot, right around the corner from my house that I grew up in.
I hate when that happens.
And then it was one of those, like, kind of abrupt things. Apparently the building got sold from underneath them. wasn't a great situation, but didn't even get to go and, like, have one last thing. They announced on Tuesday they were closing on Wednesday.
That's a bummer, man.
It's not good.
What do you think? Who do you think feels worse? You about your childhood donut place closing there in Terrytown, or Yankee fans watching them strike out now 45 times in the last 3 games?
I think it's me.
I think it's you?
I think I'm the one who feels worse. Yep.
All right, that's fair. We got to take a timeout when we come back here on RP3 and Mesh. How about the poll question of the day? It's about the Mount Rushmore of Astros players. Lots of discussion here. Does JV belong on there? I'll give you my answer, and I didn't even have to think about it. It's next.
Today's specials here on RP3 and Mesh, presented by Southwest Volkswagen, located at 6184 Johnston Street.
Now is a great time to save at Southwest Volkswagen as summer is getting hot. Get the 2026 Volkswagen Atlas for only 0.9 APR for 48 months, or take advantage of $3,500 in customer bonus cash. The Volkswagen Atlas with third-row seating, amazing technology, and one of the most comfortable drives you'll experience. Don't wait. Get down to Southwest Volkswagen today. Located at 6184 Johnston Street in Lafayette, or you can give them a call, 337-895-0110 for more details.
Make sure to set your alarm and tune in Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock for Sports Shorts here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Join me, Ronnie Rance, and the Sports Shorts team of Tommy Christsand, Hunter McCann, and the crazy man, Joel Davis, as we break down the sports and teams that you love. The LSU Tigers, New Orleans Saints, and everything in between. Tune in Saturday mornings from 10 to noon for Sports Shorts here on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Stop smoking with Alex Goen patented hypnosis.
My name's Robin Fletcher. I've smoked for 46 years. I went to a seminar in March. I took my 3 sisters and my brother-in-law and my sister's best friend and them went. None of them have smoked a cigarette, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
My name is Jen Carpenter. I went to a seminar to stop smoking, and it worked.
The only stop smoking method in America proven useful by the U.S. Patent Office because it reprograms your subconscious. Alex Goen breaks your connection to cigarettes, coffee, stress, driving, even other smokers. No cravings, irritability, or weight gain. You walk in a smoker and you walk out free. Only $59.99 or your money back. Stop Smoking Seminar Saturday, July 18th, the Hilton Garden Inn Cajun Dome at 2 p.m. Weight loss at 11 a.m. Sign up at alexgoen.com. That's ALEXGOEN. alexgoen.com.
Looking for your next firearm? Come visit Louisiana Gun Shop in Broussard. We've got financing options, 12 months same as cash, plus layaways up to 90 days. With a wide selection of new and used guns, we've got something for every budget, big or small. Have an old gun collecting dust? Trade it in or turn it into cash. Need parts? We've got the largest selection of AR-15 components in the area, from springs to grips and buttstocks. Explore our ever-changing used inventory online at louisianagunshop.com. Louisiana Gun Shop, your one-stop shop for firearms and more.
Looking for a great midweek treat? Come to Mezcal Mexican Restaurant every Wednesday and Thursday and enjoy their sizzling fajita special. $13.99 plus tax all day long. Don't forget all day 2-for-1 margaritas. Are you planning a large party? Let Mezcal handle it. Call 337-484-3298 and Mezcal will take care of everything. That's a fajita special, $13.99 plus tax all day Wednesday and Thursday at Mezcal Mexican Restaurant, 3546 Ambassador Caffrey, next to Rooms to Go. Come taste the flavor of Mezcal.
MeTV is America's #1 classic entertainment television network. And here's one of the reasons everybody loves MeTV.
Oh, it's a classic.
The great comedy lineup on weeknights.
This will be fun. Come on.
With Meche.
Loaded with snappy comebacks.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I was just funning with Barney.
And Everybody Loves Raymond.
Now we got a show.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB. Over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
You're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. Your home for the Houston Astros.
Oh, man, the fellas here at ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, guess what? We're packing our bags. That's right. We're going to be making a summer road trip, and we're headed to Florida. We're going to Tampa, to be exact, for SEC Media Days. Tune in starting Monday, July 20th. That's a week from Monday, by the way, as RP3 and Meche and The Lowdown with D-Lo will be broadcasting live from Radio Row for ESPN's Live from SEC Media Day coverage, powered by Service Chevrolet Cadillac. In addition to the live shows, we will be providing boots-on-the-ground daily reports for the Uncle Jordy, a.k.a. the Blonde Bomber, on the Jordy Holberg Show. And, of course, Kevin Foote and Footnotes. Distract him from what's going on with the Astros. I think that's a service for everyone. So make sure to kick off the 2026 football season in Tampa with us, as we'll be there for SEC Media Days. And, of course, all of our coverage is powered by Service Chevrolet Cadillac. Got a poll question of the day. It's Astros related. Do you mind unveiling it to everyone out there listening, Mr. Iserlo?
Sure thing. We are asking you about an Astros Mount Rushmore because we got news yesterday, of course, one of the great Astros of all time in a lot of ways. Justin Verlander going to be hanging it up at the end of the season. He has been battling injuries in what was supposed to be his farewell tour back home in Detroit, where he, of course, started his tremendous big league career. So we're asking you, does he make it onto the Astros Mount Rushmore? We think here at the station that there's three pretty cemented spots. Craig Biggio, Jeff Bagwell, Jose Altuve. Obviously the Biggio-Bagwell combination, the 5-7. I mean, they had a place called the 5-7 Grill for a while.
Yes, they did.
Up in the stadium. And then Altuve, the modern day, what a story he is. I don't think there's really any debating that. The last spot, though, could be up for debate. So who is in that last spot? And is it Justin Verlander? I mean, look, pitched them, to the World Series in 2017, had a couple unbelievable years after they traded for him. They traded for him again. He helped them make another run at things. I know there's already been some write-ins for Nolan Ryan, which I knew that was going to come up. I think you can argue about the success of the teams in those time frames, right? If you're going Verlander, it's probably more about getting the World Series titles.
Well, Nolan and them did make it to an ALCS.
Yeah.
I mean, NLCS back in the day. You could say Nolan Ryan. You could say Cedeno, whose brief career was derailed with personal demons. You could argue Lance Berkman. You could argue Roy Oswalt. You could really argue Jose Cruz. For me, it's simple. It's a no. And I didn't even have to think about it. And the reason why it's a no is very simple. Look, I know JV helped him win 2 titles, and he won a couple of Cy Young awards with them. But in his 20-year career, he played 14 seasons with the Tigers. That's the team that drafted him. That's the team that he went to the World Series with before winning it with Houston. And that's where he earned 7 of his 10 All-Stars appearances, won a Cy Young and an MVP. That's the cap he's going to be wearing when he goes to Cooperstown as a first ballot Hall of Famer. We'll have Clayton Kershaw go in one year, and then the next year it'll be JV. Can a guy that's going to be going into Cooperstown wearing somebody else's cap and more identified with that team, does he really belong on your Mount Rushmore? And I would say no.
Right. I will say I saw some conversation from some Astros fans in the last couple of days saying that they think he should go in as an Astro in the Hall of Fame, and I really do kind of disagree with that. I think JV is a little more synonymous with the Tigers. I mean, if there is a candidate for one of those split deals, that's probably it.
Okay, I could hear that.
A little Peyton Manning, who felt like his Broncos tenure should be more recognized. Now maybe it was more about a little feeling like some bad blood with the Colts, and I mean I think they figured it out eventually. But like, remember that was kind of that push, like, hey. He was more happy, and it ended in Denver. Especially given, though, that JV's not even ending his career in Houston. He chose to go back to Detroit. I think that kind of tells you everything you need to know. By the way, I have tracked down an update on our guy, JP France. He has been in Sugarland for the most of the season ever since that little 3-game stretch with the Astros. And they actually, interestingly enough, have tried him as a reliever down there. He has been pitching in 1-inning stints. The ERA is sitting at a 4.26 for the season, so good, not great for him. He's been pitching as a reliever in Sugarland, made his last appearance July 3rd. It's actually been a while since he's pitched.
I will say this as well. I thought JV had a chance. I'm going to firmly sit here and tell you today on July 9th, 2026, we are not going to see another 300-game winner in Major League Baseball history.
We talked about this at the end of last year, did we not? I think maybe, I don't know if you came on my show or vice versa.
JV was going to be the closest. He needed 4 or 5 good years. He's retiring now. Kershaw didn't get there. The last 300-game winner was Randy Johnson back in 2009, by the way. Verlander's at 266. Next up is Max Scherzer, who's 41 years old. He's only at 222. Garrett Cole's 35. He's at 156. Chris Sale is 37 years old. He's at 154. Like, I just don't see the way the game has changed. And the fact that the guys don't pitch as much as they used to and they don't pitch as long. I just don't see a scenario. When I was growing up, if you got to 300 wins in your career, you were going to be in the Hall of Fame. I just don't see that being a case anymore because Kershaw fell short and Verlander's going to fall short.
Yeah, and Verlander is still going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer without a doubt.
Correct.
But you're right. Like, there was that stretch too. 2020, he only wins one game. 21, he misses the whole year.
Yeah.
That was the stretch because, look, pitching to age 43, I mean, in theory, 21 years worth of it, you should be able to have a shot to get there, and he would have most likely. It just wasn't meant to be there. A couple injuries derailed him, and I mean, really, look, he was largely one of the healthiest pitchers in his era. I mean, he did not miss much time. He had the one season where he missed the entirety of it in 21 and the injury in 20 that carried over into it. Outside of that, you're talking about a guy who made at least, 20 starts basically every year of his career. And how about this stat, too? This is maybe my favorite Justin Verlander stat from 2006 to 2014. Verlander never made less than 30 starts in a season.
An amazing career, and he helped out the Astros a ton. And look, they're probably going to retire his jersey.
Yeah, and
and put him in their Hall of Fame. But on the Mount Rushmore of Astros, no, I'd say no.
That's fair. We're overdue. We're overdue by a lot, but I will say this. I have a career player comparison for Verlander. I'll do it on my show.
Oh, got to tune in for that. We got to take a time out. When we come back, Dave Bomer, author, will join us. Great book about Ford Frick. If you love baseball, you love history. Stay tuned.
This is RP3 and Meche, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros fell 8-3 to the Washington Nationals yesterday, dropping Game 3 and the series. Spencer Arrighetti struggled in the loss, lasting just 4 innings while allowing all 8 runs on 7 hits and 6 walks. The Astros will have an off day for travel today as they'll head to Dallas to face the Texas Rangers for 3 games in their last series before the All-Star break, and it'll get underway Friday night from Globe Life Field. In the FIFA World Cup, only one game will be on today, and it'll be the 2-time world champions France facing Morocco in the first game of the quarterfinals. Kylian Mbappe and his French side are a 1.5-goal favorite over the Moroccans, and kickoff is at 3 p.m. from Gillette Stadium. In the PGA, the Genesis Scottish Open begins play today from the Renaissance Club in North Berwick, Scotland. The favorites for the Scottish Open are Scotty Scheffler at +600, Rory McIlroy at +1,000, and Jon Rahm at +1,600. Former Astro and 3-time Cy Young Award winner Justin Verlander announced yesterday that he'll retire at the end of the season. At 43 years old, Verlander is the oldest active player in Major League Baseball and will wrap up his 21-year career with the team where it all began, the Detroit Tigers. The New Orleans Saints announced their 2026 training camp schedule yesterday. Camp opens on Wednesday, July 29th with a closed practice before the next 5 sessions are open to the fans. Overall, 10 of the team's 14 practices will be open to the public, including joint sessions with the Cowboys in California and the Jaguars in Metairie. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is packing its bags and headed to Tampa for SEC Media Days. Tune in starting Monday, July 20th, as RP3 and Meche and The Lowdown with D'Lo will be broadcasting live from Radio Row for ESPN's Live from SEC Media Day coverage, powered by Service Chevrolet Cadillac. Kick off the 2026 season in Tampa with ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
The heart of Acadiana is its local businesses, the people, families, and companies that help our communities thrive. Here's a message from a proud certified South Louisiana business.
Candyland Cottage is the place to satisfy all your cravings. Find delicious ice creams, fresh fudges, truffles, hot dogs, sausage po' boys, Frito pies, and homemade shakes. Visit us in Scott and Rain for a sweet treat. Plan your next birthday party or field trip at Candyland Cottage.
Shop local, support local. Certified South Louisiana.
Only the best of the best will stand proudly on the platform when Michael's Men's Club brings you the 15th Annual Stripper Olympics. Wednesday, July 15th. It's a special night of fun and games when the Stripper Olympics returns to Michael's Men's Club. Guys, it's a no-holds-barred competition. Ladies, you have a chance to win big if you're in the game. Michael's Men's Club invites you to battle it out in 3 categories. The pole, the floor show, and the most ancient art of them all, the lap dance. With $650 cash per category. First place overall gets $1,500. Second place overall gets $1,000. And third overall gets $500. That's $5,000 in total Stripper Olympics cash to be awarded. Plus a feature in Exotic Dancer magazine. Professional entertainers come from all over the USA to compete for the $5,000 in cash. Guys, mark your calendar and tell your friends, because this is the event you cannot miss. The 15th Annual Stripper Olympics. Wednesday, July 15th at Lafayette's premier gentleman's establishment, Michael's Men's Club. Highway 90 Broussard. Doors open at 5 and show starts at 7 sharp. Tickets $30 at the door. Let the games begin. Get more details now at michaelsmensclub.com.
Imagine a place where wellness, luxury, and community come together. Welcome to City Club at River Ranch, Acadiana's premier private club. Enjoy a state-of-the-art fitness center, exceptional tennis and pickleball programs, resort-style amenities, and a vibrant social atmosphere. Whether you're pursuing your fitness goals or expanding your social circle, City Club offers an unmatched member experience. Visit cityclubatriverranch.com today. City Club at River Ranch, where lifestyle meets distinction.
Looking for a great deal on golf this summer? Head to Farm Alley Golf Course for the Sizzlin' Summer Special. Every Tuesday through Thursday, tee off anytime between noon and 3:30 and enjoy 18 holes of championship golf, including a cart for just $55. That's unbeatable summer golf at an unbeatable price. Gather your friends, sharpen your game, and make the most of your afternoons at Farm Alley Golf Course. Book your tee time today and take advantage of the Sizzlin' Summer Special, only at Farm Alley.
From home runs to no-hitters, we love talking all things Major League Baseball. Time for In the Dugout here on RP3 and Meche.
When we often talk about the game of baseball, we focus in on the players. Sometimes we focus in on the skippers. Well, there's a new book out there that focuses on one of the most important figures in the history of Major League Baseball, and he was the commissioner of the game. And the name of the book is Ford Frick, baseball's third commissioner in his 4 decades of shaping the game. The author of the book, Dave Bomer, joins us now. Dave, good morning to you, brother. Thank you for making the time. How are you?
I'm good, Raymond. Thank you for having me.
Well, we appreciate you making the time, and I want to just dive in here because I have plenty of questions here about this tremendous book that you've written about Mr. Frick. And I want to start off with this. We live in this era now where the idea of a sports writer someday becoming the commissioner of the national pastime is a completely foreign concept to us. But back in the day, it was not. And you write about this right off the bat in your introduction for the book that Ford Frick himself was a successful sports writer for Hearst newspapers there in New York. He was even Babe Ruth's ghostwriter. Just how fascinating is that, knowing that this is a guy who was essentially a sports journalist that would one day become commissioner of the most powerful league in the country at the time?
You know, it's always good to be in the right place at the right time, and there is no question in the case of Ford Frick that that proved. He came to New York in 1922. Hearst, he switched papers a year after there and started to be assigned to the Yankees right at the time of Babe Ruth's heyday.
He also had aspirations early on of being a sports writer. He actually goes to DePaul there to study journalism. He works for the student newspaper. And where did his passion for sports and his passion for sports journalism come from?
He grew up in he grew up in 2 small railroad towns. He was born in one, and his dad was made section foreman, and they moved 5 miles down the road to Brimfield, Indiana. Probably at the time a population of between 200 and 250. And there was a journey. Well, he was a journeyman pitcher, semi-pro leagues kind of thing, by the name of Ed Morley, and he put out a weekly newspaper in Brimfield called the Brimfield Call. Frick started to work for him, just probably helping him in any way that he could, maybe collecting a couple stories, whatever. Frick got printer's ink and basically was bitten with it and chose DePauw largely because they were the smallest school in Indiana that put out a daily newspaper, and that's where the honorary, the Society for Professional Journalists, then called Sigma Delta Chi, was founded. So that caused a decision, and he immediately tried out and got involved with the paper at the end of his freshman year.
He also starts doing radio in his career as well. So he's a sports journalist. He's also hosts radio shows, but he's able to successfully make the transition into league leadership as he takes over as the head of the National League Service Bureau. Walk us through how that opportunity arrived for Mr. Frick.
Frick was, I think in 1931, was given the opportunity to have a radio show 5 days a week, 15 minutes on WOR, devoted exclusively to sports. He also began to narrate other radio shows and developed a name as a moderator of shows that were nationally sponsored and developed somewhat of a reputation for that. He also did a lot of the local New York teams' baseball games before they banned them in the early 1930s. He did the World Series one year. He did the Army and Navy game and other college football games. So he had developed, I'd say, a local and probably even a national reputation because of that involvement in radio. That probably gave him the prominence that made him considered in the Depression to be the sports information guy for the National League.
When he takes over in that role, though, he inherits some immense challenges that the league is facing, where you write about the Reds were proposing to have night games to improve attendance, even though they were successful. The Boston Braves hope to improve their financial difficulties because of the Great Depression by allowing dog races. I mean, he walks into a situation that is not ideal by any by any parameter, right? He's entering difficult and some daunting challenges right off the bat.
You're in the thick of the Depression, the Great Depression, and Cincinnati, by the time he came on, was probably solvent because they had a major investor in Powell Crosley, but doing night baseball was what they considered 7 games key to their ultimate financial success. Frick quickly became an advocate for night baseball and developed a relationship with Larry MacPhail that also had him turn to MacPhail later to be the general manager of the Dodgers to help turn around their fortune in the late 30s. And he worked with the Braves until he finally found ownership in 1941. And then the Phillies were probably the biggest albatross because their problem continued right up and into the World War II, when baseball, of course, was struggling just to stay alive.
They survived the Depression, but here comes World War II, and you document this in the book here in Chapter 3, Staying Alive. What were some of the things that Frick was able to do that were instrumental in keeping the game alive? And what were those things that he learned during this time that helped prepare him to become commissioner a few years later?
I think the key thing that he learned was that it was very important to stay in communication with Washington during the war, to see what kinds of allowances baseball would be given in order to utilize players of any kind to try to keep the game going. I mean, a lot of their star players were gone. DiMaggio was gone. Williams was gone. Bob Feller was gone. Numerous other stars. And so how do you keep the game going? First thing, I think, was keeping a relationship with the War Office, and not just a personal relationship, helping their efforts. They provided baseball equipment to the very military camps, not only in the United States, and training camps not only in the U.S., but around the world. Bats, balls, catcher's equipment, in order for the soldiers to play, in order for them to continue to enjoy the game. They set up a war relief fund that every team devoted one of its games exclusively. The money raised in that game would exclusively go to proceeds to help either the Red Cross or the relief fund for soldiers. And every single game they sold bonds and raised bonds to help to support the war effort. So doing those things gave you a positive relationship with baseball to begin with, and probably allowed a little bit of slack for guys that were staying in the country and working in the war effort to be able to continue to play baseball.
We're talking with Dave Bomer. He's the author of an excellent book called Ford Frick, baseball's third commissioner and his 4 decades of shaping the game. He joins us here on RP3 and Meche. Kennesaw Mountain Landis is a mountain of a figure, no pun intended there, in baseball history. He was baseball's first commissioner. He dies in late 44, and there's a chance there for Frick to replace him, but that's not how it goes down. Why didn't Mr. Frick become baseball's second commissioner?
Frick had been with the National League by that time 11 years, I believe, and there was skepticism. Frick was a big advocate for the National League. That was his job as president of the league, to support it, to cheer for it in the All-Star game, to cheer for it in the World Series. And some of the American League owners were skeptical about taking the National League president and making him the full-fledged commissioner, thinking that he may still be biased. There was enough opposition. Frick came close. He probably had 10 votes for sure, maybe 11 votes, but it took 12 of the 16 owners to vote him in. And they couldn't get that number of votes, and so they moved elsewhere and ultimately brought in Happy Chandler as the next commissioner.
Why was Mr. Frick the right choice the second time around for him to be considered to become commissioner of Major League Baseball, the third commissioner of Major League Baseball?
By that time, he had been president of the National League for 17 years. He certainly knew the owners inside and out, including the American League owners. He knew the politics internally of the game, and believe me, you're effectively, baseball is a trade association of 16 owners, usually with significant egos to go along with it, and how to work that organization internally and understanding the politics of it was, I think, a key ingredient to success. And without question, Frick understood that.
He takes over, and one of the things that he has to tackle early on, somewhat early on in his tenure as the commissioner, is expansion. And expansion hits baseball like a fever after World War II. How would you surmise he was able to handle the complexities of expanding the game?
You have the 8 teams in the Pacific Coast League chomping at the bit to be considered a third major league. They only have 2 markets that really qualified. One was Los Angeles, the other was San Francisco. But Frick basically placated them by giving them special status. Also, Congress was certainly pushing for baseball to expand, or at least to move to other locations. And Frick got the owners to agree to relax the restrictions. Originally, every single team had to approve any franchise's move. That would have been a very difficult thing to accomplish. They changed it so that only the American League had to approve an American League team move. Only the National League had to approve a National League team move. And I think National League was unanimous vote of the 8 owners. American League was 6 out of the 8 owners had to approve any move. That opened the door. You had Boston move to Milwaukee. You had the St. Louis Browns move to Baltimore. You had the Philadelphia Athletics move to Kansas City. And then, of course, the key move is the Dodgers and the Giants leave New York. New York is now without a National League team, and they go to the West Coast. The lack of a National League team in New York creates a push to create another new league, ultimately to be called the Continental League. And the pressure is to try to get a team back, another league team back in New York, ideally a National League team. There's a lot of politics to go along with that. Ultimately, the Continental League can't get the players to make it work because of baseball's reserve clause, and it opens the door for expansion, which by that time, Frick has convinced the owners that expansion is in their interest.
One of the things that Mr. Frick has been credited with is about the Baseball Hall of Fame and being one of the founding fathers of it and being instrumental in it. And you write about the credit that sometimes is given to him is misleading, but he was instrumental in the Baseball Hall of Fame's development. Can you dive into that a little bit there?
You know, the myth that Alexander Doubleday invented the game long existed, and Frick, of course, had nothing to do with that. The idea for a museum in the Hall of Fame came about during the Depression from Stephen Clark, whose family had a summer home for 3 generations, and he had had inherited a fortune from the Singer Sewing Machine Company, and he had the idea of trying to bring people back to Cooperstown by setting up a museum. He and his partner, Alexander Cleland, realized that you need to get baseball behind this. Their offices were in New York City, so it was natural to call on Ford Frick, whose offices were also in New York City. The American League offices and the commissioner were both in Chicago. So they call on Frick, and Frick immediately thinks it's a great idea, but also responds saying, why not honor the greats? I think that was more than coincidental that Frick had that idea, because 1935, when they approached him, was also the time that Babe Ruth was about to retire. And by that time, Frick and Ruth were quite close. And I think Frick may have thought that what a wonderful way to honor this good friend of mine and who I think has been a great player.
With all the research that you did with this book, what do you believe, with all your heart, Mr. Frick's legacy should be, even now today?
Well, unfortunately, the legacy is usually considered the asterisk that was supposedly put by Roger Maris's name when he hit 61 home runs in 162 games, and Ruth had done it in 154. That was a controversial decision, less so at the time than it became later, but that's what he's remembered for. I think he needs to be remembered for creating the baseball draft that they still use today, for basically creating a crisis in the minor leagues and reaching stability by the early 1960s, and for having a role to play in both expansion and franchise movement. And probably most particularly, baseball is the only sport with an antitrust exemption, and that's no accident. Essentially, it was baseball's successful lobbying efforts enabled that to happen.
It is a wonderful read. If you're a history buff, if you're a baseball buff, either way, you're going to thoroughly enjoy this book. It's Ford Frick, baseball's third commissioner, and his 4 decades of shaping the game. It's available now in local bookstores as well as online. Dave Bomer is the author. Dave, thank you for making the time, brother. I hope you enjoy the rest of your summer, and can't wait to read what you write next, my friend.
Thank you, Raymond. Thank you for having me. I certainly enjoyed our conversation. You have a good day, too. Thanks.
We got to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll wrap up hour number 1 here on RP3 and Meche.
This is RP3 and Meche, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Row coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
Lose weight with Alex Goen patented hypnosis.
This is Lisa Stofan. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods. I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband, and he lost weight.
The only weight loss method in America proven useful by the U.S. Patent Office because it reprograms your subconscious. Engineered to kill cravings, emotional eating, and late-night fridge attacks. Get full on half the food so you lose the weight and you keep it off. 10 pounds, 30 pounds, whatever your goal. Only $59.99 or your money back. Weight loss seminar Saturday, July 18th at the Hilton Garden Inn Cajun Dome at 11 a.m. Stop smoking at 2 p.m. Sign up at alexgoen.com. That's ALEXGOEN.com. alexgoen.com.
Looking for your next firearm? Come visit Louisiana Gun Shop in Broussard. We've got financing options, 12 months same as cash, plus layaways up to 90 days. With a wide selection of new and used guns, we've got something for every budget, big or small. Have an old gun collecting dust? Trade it in or turn it into cash. Need parts? We've got the largest selection of AR-15 components in the area, from springs to grips and buttstocks. Explore our ever-changing used inventory online at louisianagunshop.com. Louisiana Gun Shop, your one-stop shop for firearms and more.
You thinking trailers? Think Tibbs. Whether you tug it, tow it, or transport it, Tibbs Trailers is your headquarters for enclosed, flatbed, and hydraulic trailers. You won't find a better selection or a better price than right here. We've got the experts to repair or customize your trailer so it'll be ready for whatever you pull it through. Why would you go anywhere else when you can go to Tibbs Trailers? Now we're talking trailers.
Between Scott and Doosan.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
The biggest headlines in the world of sports are discussed here. ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Good stuff there with author Dave Bomer about his book, Ford Frick. Greatly appreciate his time. We'll give a quick update here on the poll question of the day. Where do we stand on results, Mr. Arslow, and maybe a couple of comments before we have to wrap up hour one?
91% say no, he's not a Mount Rushmore member for the Astros. So pretty strong voting results.
Well, that's overwhelming, as they like to say.
Yep. We had some people that are counting down the Saints training camp in the comments. A lot of no's. Ralph says no. Clint says no.
Oh, world-famous CD?
Yep.
Oh, world-famous one.
True.
Very
Ralph's
true.
trying to hold a spot for Yordan Alvarez. I think we need to.
I think
that's a long ways away.
You probably. What are we thinking? We need another 7 years?
5 to 7.
5 to 7 years of production, and then you could make that argument, especially what he was able to do in the postseason, coming up clutch. But what about guys like I know he's left. What about Alex Bregman?
What about Hunter Pence? Hunter Pence was great in a era of Astros baseball. It was terrible, but he's my favorite player growing up.
It's fair. So I think you can make an argument for Breggs, though, too. There's a lot of guys there, and it was a lot of guys that helped the Stros finally get over the hump and win that World Series title. So love JV, first ballot Hall of Famer in Cooperstown for me, but I don't think he belongs on the Mount Rushmore of Houston Astros players. Just think there's other guys. Hour one is in the books. Hour number two coming up right here on ESPN Southwest Louisiana Sports Station.
Need peace of mind with your estate planning? Turn to Beal & Hebert, your trusted hometown lawyers. At Beal & Hebert, we make estate planning simple and stress-free, ensuring your legacy is secure and your future is in the right hands. Don't wait. Schedule your consultation today at BealHebert.com. That's Beal, Abear.com. Safeguarding your tomorrow today.
Whether it's a tempting text message or a quick glance at your GPS, taking your eyes off the road for just a moment can have serious consequences. This includes turning around or reaching down. Distractive driving includes eating or putting on makeup. Distractive driving is anything that diverts your attention from driving. I'm Lorraine Luquette Vinoy with Service Chevrolet Cadillac, encouraging you to drive smart, drive safe, and keep those eyes on the road, Acadiana. This message is powered by Service Chevrolet Cadillac and this radio station, where safety meets style on the road.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce exhibit number 1.
MeTV is America's #1 classic television network.
There can only be one number 1, me.
MeTV features over 60 of the greatest classic TV series each week.
Go with the winner.
Enjoy dramas, comedies, westerns, sci-fi, and more.
You just watch me.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
MeTV is memorable entertainment television.
We are the soldiers of the Louisiana Army National Guard. We are your neighbors. We are your sons and daughters. While we serve part-time, we are learning valuable life and job skills. We are earning money for college, for trade and technical schools, and for certifications. We are proud to serve both our country and our home state. We are your Louisiana Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Carencro Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros fell 8-3 to the Washington Nationals yesterday, dropping Game 3 and the series. Spencer Arrighetti struggled in the loss, lasting just 4 innings while allowing all 8 runs on 7 hits and 6 walks. The Astros will have an off day for travel today as they'll head to Dallas to face the Texas Rangers for 3 games in their last series before the All-Star break, and it'll get underway Friday night from Globe Life Field. In the FIFA World Cup, only 1 game will be on today, and it'll be the 2-time world champions France facing Morocco in the first game of the quarterfinals. Kylian Mbappe and his French side are a 1.5-goal favorite over the Moroccans, and kickoff is at 3 p.m. from Gillette Stadium. In the PGA, the Genesis Scottish Open begins play today from the Renaissance Club in North Berwick, Scotland. The favorites for the Scottish Open are Scotty Scheffler at +600, Rory McIlroy at +1,000, and John Rahm at +1,600. Former Astro and 3-time Cy Young Award winner Justin Verlander announced yesterday that he'll retire at the end of the season. At 43 years old, Verlander is the oldest active player in Major League Baseball and will wrap up his 21-year career with the team where it all began, the Detroit Tigers. The New Orleans Saints announced their 2026 training camp schedule yesterday. Camp opens on Wednesday, July 29th with a closed practice before the next 5 sessions are open to the fans. Overall, 10 of the team's 14 practices will be open to the public, including joint sessions with the Cowboys in California and the Jaguars in Metairie. I'm Blake Purser, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you. Dynamic duos are nothing new to Louisiana sports fans. Breeze and Colston, Burrow and Chase. And here in Acadiana, we have our very own dynamic duo.
You're beautiful.
It's the big, bald, bearded, and beautiful one, Raymond Parch III.
I'm sexy and I know it.
And the man with the best head of hair in sports talk radio in Louisiana and Mississippi, James Meche. Here is RP3 and Meche on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Hour number 2 has arrived here on RP3 and Meshes. We're broadcasting live from inside the Beal and Hebert studios here in Upper Lafayette. Beal and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown lawyers. I'm the big, bald, beautiful one, Raymond Parch III, better known as RP3, or as Mr. Bobby says, 2 out of 3. And he is the former producer extraordinaire turned multi-time LAB award winner. and a multiple LSWA award winner, the son of Iceman 2 Degrees himself, Dawson Iserloh, back for hour number 2. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're also those things, by the way.
It's true, but I like to put the spotlight on you.
Wow, let's flip it around.
Let's not.
Flip it around.
Let's not. Coming up this hour, we're going to talk Pels. We're going to talk Saints with our buddy Les East of CrescentCitySports.com. That'll be at 12:32.
Pels still operating?
You would
They're
not
still
know
in
it.
business?
I legitimately want to know if Joe Dumars is in a coma. So, it's just thankfully training camp is coming around, and there's a lot of positivity around the Saints.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
get ready to learn Tyler Shuck.
There we go. Did you see our guy? You weren't here for this because of the changeover. Our guy James Meche the other day when we rocked our jerseys for we had a special day with kicking off football and everything. He has purchased a Tyler Shuck white Saints jersey.
Wow. I did not know that.
Already on it.
Okay.
Our guy. He's already committed to buying the jersey. He already has it. The Shuck
That's good
jersey.
for him. I mean, look, that's, I think you saw what you needed to see, so I stand by it.
There we go. There we go.
Be early on a Jordan Tyson purchase, but a Shuck jersey, I think we've seen a little bit, right?
And I'm going to say something about the Saints because we have some time here. I know people lost their mind. We broadcasted it on Facebook, right? Foote lost his mind. Nick Fontenot lost his mind. James Meche lost his mind and everything. And I had a hearty laugh at their expense because they're like, don't take Tyson. Don't take him. Don't take him. What are you doing? What are you doing? At the end of the day, you can't have enough offensive weapons in the modern NFL, right? And if you think your offensive line is set, as much as you may want Delane at corner that they did, or a safety, you can't have enough offensive weapons. Am I crazy to think that if he's healthy that he could have a really, really great rookie year in this offense? The way Kellen Moore wants to do it?
It's about health for sure. I think that's what it's going to be about.
You saw a guy like Vele that another team gave up on when he was healthy thrive in that offense last year. In the first year of Kellen Moore being a head coach / play caller, sharing duties. And you saw what Vele was able to do that, and that's a guy that they got for a bag of crawfish. So what do you think a guy with Tyson's skill set is going to be able to do in this offense, where he's not even going to have to be the number one wide receiver, D? Like, that's what I keep telling people. He's going to be the number 2, and the way Kellen wants to do that, he wants to go out there with 3 wide anyway and use both of his running backs. And they got a tight end, a pass-catching tight end. Like, you telling me that kid's not going to win 50-50 balls? Like, now Vele becomes your number 3 option in the wide receiving core. You're going to have Olave, Tyson, Vele. You're going to have Juwan Johnson at tight end, and you're going to have Kamara and Etienne out of the backfield. That's a lot of really good weapons, dude.
No, they have. I have enjoyed the way they have built this offense up in a pretty short amount of time, and we got plenty of time to talk about some defensive concerns, question marks, things of that nature. But yes, I think it is fair if people are excited about this offense right now. I think that is for good reason.
And I think the defense is going to be. I think the defense is very high on Sanker having a breakout year. I know we're all concerned about the defense. I am as well, because I don't think Kool-Aid McKinstry is a number 1 corner in this league. But the way Staley runs his defense, you don't really need a number 1 corner. You go with 2 corners that are about the same because everything's about being up front. But I still have questions up front as well. So, but we'll dive into that a little bit later on when Les East joins us today. Let's get to some news and notes if we can that we didn't address in hour number 1. Okay. First off, I'm going to take a moment to talk about my favorite football player of all time, and that's John Riggins. The Diesel, as they used to call him, also Riggo, a man Joe Gibbs was so afraid to talk to, he had to get Joe Theismann to do it. He's finally getting his number 44 retired by the Washington Commanders 40 years after he scored one of the most famous touchdown runs in Super Bowl history. He becomes the 7th player in franchise history to have his number retired. They'll do this in November 8th game versus the Rams. Riggo played for Washington from 76 to 85. He remains the franchise all-time leading rusher, by the way. He began his career with the Jets, D. He then came to my Redskins at the time, and he leads them still to this day in 2026. He hasn't played for them since 1985. He still remains the franchise all-time leading rusher with over 7,742 yards, and he remains second with 85 touchdowns. His team best 79 rushing touchdowns, by the way, are 33 more than second place Clinton Portis.
70,000 rushing yards would have been
that's
remarkable. But no, it's all-time stuff.
All-time stuff. Had the great. He was the guy behind that offense that won the '82 Super Bowl. He was named Super Bowl MVP after he rushed for 166 yards, including that one of the most famous Super Bowl runs of all time, the 43-yard touchdown run on a 4th and 1 to give us a victory over those Miami Dolphins. And during that 4-game playoff run, Riggins set the NFL postseason record with 610 rushing yards. He was a workhorse. I'll get out. He also became the oldest player in NFL history to rush for more than 1,000 yards in '84 when he was 35. They just don't build them like that anymore.
They do not.
I love this because he was my favorite, my favorite Washington player of all time. I also love this because he was an outspoken critic of Daniel Snyder. And he called him an individual that had a dark heart, and he was very outspoken against him. But one of the things that I love about Josh Harris since he purchased my franchise is that they have repaired those relationships. And Riggins in recent years has come to OTA practices. He's appeared at games and everything else like that. So bringing somebody back into the fold is always a good thing. And I love what Harris has done here, recognizing the old guard with so many of them that had falling outs with Daniel Snyder because he was a world-class creep in dirtbag. So one of the guys that was a vocal opponent of him having his jersey retired, I am completely for. So that's some good news. So we now see this news that the captain of the U.S. men's soccer team had a severe injury, and that's why he had to leave the game against Belgium, right?
Correct.
We see this now a couple of days afterwards. Why is my instinct? Is it because I just don't trust when it comes to these things? Why is my instinct going, does this feel like damage control slightly because of all the negative publicity, including from former Team USA captains like Landon Donovan and Tim Howard? That now all
Carly
of a sudden,
Lloyd may be the worst of the three.
Right? Now that we get all this after really 36 hours of negative press about him and about the way he talks about his experience and his play and how he didn't show up and everything. All of a sudden, now he has this injury. I want to believe it, Dawson, but part of me does feel like, I'm like, Really?
I think he's probably hurt. I think the timing of it, certainly the damage control element, I think based on what they were experiencing and feeling, they probably decided now's the time to come out with this. But I do think he's probably actually hurt. Yeah, I don't think they're making that part up.
Does that change your perception about his performance in this?
I mean, a little bit, but I don't know. It's just, and I mean, Carly Lloyd had the comments that she made about it. He took time off at the Gold Cup to prepare for the World Cup. He took time off throughout the year because he wanted to be ready, and then he showed up and wasn't ready and got hurt again. And so, I mean, look, injuries aren't players' faults sometimes, but this is what it revolves around. You get one shot every 4 years, and I don't think it looked.
This is not an every year thing.
It didn't appear to everyone like he left it all out on the line the way they wanted him to. And maybe that's unfair, right? Because maybe he did have injuries that were making it look way worse. We find out all the time about this stuff, but it sure didn't look like a guy who was giving it all out there.
I think it's fair, and I think it's going to be something that's going to linger with him, right? and it's going to linger with him. When the old heads are, and Landon Donovan said, look, you have an opportunity here. And Landon even said, he says, look, I said some stupid stuff early on as well. And Donovan has said, I don't think it's Christian himself, it's the people around him. It's one of these cases where he's getting given bad advice. Because apparently he doesn't like interact with fans. He shuns the media. He's kind of aloof.
Well, Derek Carr vibe?
Yeah,
a little Carr vibe here. And obviously this is on a bigger scale. I mean, this is a guy who was quote unquote the chosen one, right? Elected to be the superstar, the face of American soccer for the last decade.
Correct.
Since he arrived, and he went and played at the shiny, overseas European clubs, and now he's with AC Milan, and like this is the U.S.'s guy, and he hasn't shown up in the big moments for American soccer.
And the personality I don't love either.
Right.
Like so that's the other part of it is like if you're going to get all the money to be in all those commercials with Billy Bob Thornton and every other commercial known to mankind, and you're going to be on the McDonald's Cup, shouldn't you be a little bit more approachable and likable, especially when you're representing your country? I think you can get away with it. Like, I think you can be Aaron Rodgers because you're in a professional league, right? Year in, year out. It's another thing if you're given the task of you are representing our country. There's a different level of responsibility with that. I think that's fair to say.
And it's tough, too, in this sport, I would imagine, when also you have an American hockey team that kind of like took the nation by storm with like the passion and the grit.
Yes.
And they were the underdogs, and they were everything about it. Now, it's not the same. America was probably the second best hockey team in the world, and they're probably the 20th best soccer team. So like it's different, but they captured the nation's attention, and then they delivered on the biggest stage. And now you have this soccer team, and it's not super fair to put it all on one guy, but he's supposed to be the face of it, right? And as we said, the other thing that I think hurts him, and I'm going to have this conversation, on my show later this afternoon, this is a World Cup where everyone's stars have shown up. It's been all about Erling Haaland scoring goals everywhere, being a face of Norway.
Mbappe for France.
Mbappe's been there. Messi's been unbelievable. When Portugal was still in, Ronaldo had his moments in this tournament. Like, everyone's stars have been there. And America's star wasn't there. He had 30 nice minutes against Uruguay, and that's
he
it.
was more Neymar than he was the other guys, and Neymar was injured, right?
Neymar never played, but yeah,
he never played, but yeah, that's a severe problem. Before we take a timeout, we want to tell you about something that's coming up that you need to go and sign up for. Okay?
Yes.
We love small sliders. I could eat a dozen of them, and I have to refrain myself from doing so. But later this month, I don't have to refrain because our friends at Lafayette Small Sliders, they're holding an eating contest. It's going to be part of their Lafayette Anniversary Bash. That's going to be on Saturday, July 25th. That's at the Ambassador Caffrey Parkway location, right, 4611. And during the location's Anniversary Bash, which is also going to feature bounce houses and games for the kiddos, which is important, live music, and more, there is going to be an eating contest.
And can I throw in?
Yes, sir.
I will be, I think I've been appointed to MC this deal.
Master of ceremonies for the Small Sliders eating contest for the Lafayette Anniversary Bash is Dawson Iserloh. Yes.
And a birdie came to my ear today and said there's a cash prize for the winner.
Whoa!
Just saying. Just sweetening the pot a little bit.
Not only do you get to eat delicious Small Sliders burgers, you're going to possibly, if you win the whole thing, you're going to win cash. You get to see D-Lo. I'm going to make an appearance as well. James Meche is going to make an appearance. We may even sign up for the eating contest, even though we can't win, right? But we want to just have some fun. But look, if you want to show us that you're the Joey Chestnut of Acadiana when it comes to eating cheeseburgers, you got to go sign up for this bad boy right now. See what it takes. Go visit ESPNSouthwestLouisiana.com. That's ESPNSouthwestLouisiana.com. Click on the Small Sliders sign-up sheet. Sign up today to take part in this eating contest. It's going to be a ton of fun. Music, stuff for the kiddos, delicious burgers, D-Lo, and more. And that more is a cash prize. Go sign up right now. We got to take a timeout. When we come back, some news involving LSU and the governor. And then we'll look ahead to the first quarterfinal match in the World Cup, France versus Morocco. That's next.
This is RP3 and Meche live on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Hello, everyone. This is Jeff Palermo. Join us on Tuesday nights for Tiger Rag Radio. Myself, Todd Horn, and Glenn Gilbo give you the latest happenings in Tiger Town and across the SEC. We talk to coaches, analysts, and those in the know when it comes to the Tigers and the Southeastern Conference. We cover all the sports: football, baseball, basketball, softball, and gymnastics. That's Tuesday nights right here on ESPN 1037 in Lafayette and 1041 in Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Do you know how many tax resolution firms have been forced to close because they were taking advantage of people or have gone out of business? It happens all the time. Hi, this is Kerry Bryson with the Bryson Law Firm. As a matter of fact, there are national tax relief companies that are currently under court orders to cease operations. So if you have IRS issues, do not fall for the threats and scare tactics of the national so-called tax relief companies. The Bryson Law Firm has been doing this for decades. We have a AAA BBB rating, and our entire focus is IRS problems and tax liability issues. An IRS problem is a legal problem. Let the Bryson Law Firm help you get relief the right way. So if you owe back taxes or haven't filed returns in years, it's time to call the Bryson Law Firm and finally resolve your tax issues. Don't put it off any longer. Call the Bryson Law Firm. Our headquarters are in Lafayette, and we have offices statewide. Or visit BrysonLawFirm.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Bryson Law Firm. LSB filing number LA2519684.
August 15th is the date for the 12th annual Fête du Teche boat procession down the Bayou Teche. The day begins with Mass en Francais with Bishop Desatel at 8 a.m. at St. Leo's Church in Leonville. The boats then depart for a Eucharistic boat procession ending in St. Martinville. Register your boat today or find out more information at fêteduteche.org or by liking their Facebook page. Don't miss the 12th annual Fête du Teche, Saturday, August 15th.
Attention first responders, police officers, firefighters, military and former military personnel. If you have an acre or more of grass to cut, Skag Zero Turn Mowers would like to thank you by offering you a special discount with their Simply the Brave First Responders program. Save big money on the industry's top-rated zero-turn mower at Nolan's Lawnmower in Carencro. Nolan's can offer well-qualified buyers 0% financing for 48 months. Come by Nolan's Lawnmower at 3547 Northwest Evangeline Thruway and check out the full line of Skag zero-turn lawnmowers.
Oh, look who's here.
Everybody Loves Raymond is on MeTV.
Who told you that?
Raymond!
America's #1 classic TV network.
Nothing even comes close.
Enjoy 2 back-to-back episodes every weeknight.
We're doing it twice.
Watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, it's all about you, Raymond.
Weeknights starting at 8 on MeTV.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
This is ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, broadcasting live from the Beal and Hebert studios in Upper Lafayette. Beal and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown lawyers. Back to more of Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Before we dive into the World Cup that resumes today, I got to get on my soapbox just a little bit here. And I know I'm going to be the minority, and I'm okay with that. Our buddy Matt Moscona from After Further Review is reporting this. Others have as well. That LSU's top 40 donors have been invited to the governor's mansion to hear a presentation on the athletic department's financial future. That's going to be held either August 3rd or August 5th. LSU President Dr. Wade Roos will lead the presentation regarding, quote, an alternative revenue-generating opportunity, end quote, which the letter says is a first of its kind nationally. Of course, Roos comes from a finance background before his academic career. These type of things shouldn't be held in the governor's mansion. Like, I'm just being real. I have no problem with LSU wanting to find alternative ways of generating revenue for their athletic department. Get after it. Bravo. Figure out the ways. Get that bag of money. I never knock people for going and getting a bag of money. Not once. You're not going to hear me do it. It's not who I am. What I have a problem with is that this is being held in the governor's mansion. Why are we conducting LSU fundraising business in the home of the highest political leader in our state? Like, that's like, you understand what the problem is here. Like, these things shouldn't be cross-pollinating. If you want to have a big meeting, have it on campus. Have it at the athletic department offices. Have it inside Tiger Stadium. Have it inside the PMAC. You can have the governor there. He obviously loves LSU, even though he didn't go there. And that's his right. He's able to do that. But why are we conducting athletic department fundraising at the governor's mansion? Like, history tells you over and over and over again, mixing politics with sports or entertainment is always a dangerous combination, and it usually blows up in your face. Like, those things should be separate. And the perception is also bad here because it shows favoritism to LSU by the governor. So does that mean that the governor cares more about LSU over, say, UL or McNeese or Tulane or Southern or Grambling or Northwestern State or Louisiana Tech? I mean, what if one of those schools wanted to go and have some sort of fundraising exercise? Would they be able to do it inside the governor's mansion? You see what I'm saying here? And what happens when it comes to funding and legislation that involves the state institutions of higher learning? What happens if it appears, because you're giving favoritism to LSU over one of the other ones? Like, this is a dangerous game and one that shouldn't be played. And I know I sound like the old man screaming at the clouds, but these things shouldn't mix. You want the governor there, he wants to be a supporter, get after it. I got no problem with Governor Landry wanting to be supportive of LSU athletics. That's his choice. He's a grown man. He's allowed to do these things. He wants to hitch his wagon to everything that's purple and gold. Cool. Get after it. I don't care. What I care about as a tax-paying resident of the state of Louisiana is the fact that the residency of the man who's in charge of our state is being utilized as a fundraising seminar. And it bothers me greatly. And it should bother you a lot more as well. Whether it does, that's entirely up to you. I'll say my piece. Can we move on to the World Cup now? Are you allowed? Because you've been very quiet over there while I'm over here ranting.
Yeah, I had to fix some stuff in the back end. Fixed it. We're good.
There we go, buddy. Thank you. Multifaceted. That's why he's the Radio Young Professional of the Year right there. Just saying. Give me your thoughts here about our first FIFA World Cup quarterfinal match that's going to be later today. Right when you're getting off the air, right? It's going to be at 3
o'clock.
3 o'clock. Between Morocco and France. Give me your thoughts.
I mean, Morocco, a lot of people, casuals, myself included, but I've caught up. Not going to remember, Morocco made a run to the semifinals last year. I mean, last World Cup, 4 years ago.
Last World Cup, 4 years ago in Qatar.
They've been the little team that could. They just keep getting it done. They keep winning matchups, and so they are big underdogs, but they've been doubted before. And ironically enough, the team that ended their run last time around was France and Mbappe. So a little bit of revenge game there going on, and Morocco's just feisty, man. They just
and if you
find
look
a way.
at their World Cup resume, they've beaten all the big boys except for one.
Overachievers.
In France.
Right.
That's the team. That's the country they haven't been able to beat. So they're going to be ultra motivated here. But France is your betting line favorite. They are the favorite. We talked about this yesterday. We wouldn't be surprised if the four heavy favorites here in the quarterfinals all advance to the semis, right? We're talking France, Spain, England, and Argentina. We wouldn't be surprised if that's our final four. France versus Spain, England versus Argentina, right?
Right.
There's going to be a lot of pull for Norway because of Holland, right? Like I went down a rabbit hole because the algorithm does what it does. Yeah. I enjoyed one like really kind of cool video about him, and now my timeline is nothing but the big
Norwegian,
the big Norwegian Game of Thrones character. So I'll be pulling. I just instinctively I'll always root against England.
Let's do it. We can't have them win. We can't have them win on our soil on our 250th birthday.
Can't have it. Can't have it.
We beat them 250 years ago. They can't get their redemption. It can't happen.
Like can't happen. Kat. I just know I'll be rooting for Norway. I can't help myself. But part of me also would love to see Argentina move on and have a chance to win back-to-back with Messi as well.
I'm going back to rocking with Belgium. It was my team when the U.S. didn't qualify. I know they beat us, knocked us out this time around, but it's kind of their last swan song. De Bruyne and Lukaku and company, the older generation of Belgian football. Let's see.
But they're going to take on Spain.
They do.
That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. So
that one starts at 2:00 tomorrow. So literally,
so we got one match today. We get another one at 2:00 tomorrow. While D is on the air, he'll be giving you updates. I assure you. And then Saturday we get the
doubleheader. Yep.
We get the doubleheader. We get England, Norway first in the late afternoon, and then at the nightcap will be Argentina versus Switzerland.
Yes,
they're neutral on things, except for trying to win a World Cup. They're all in on that, fully invested. I like France though today. Right? We still like France.
Yeah,
both of
like
us.
France.
Yeah. I like France to move on to the semifinals. We got to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll talk Saints. We'll talk Pellies with our buddy Les East of CrescentCitySports.com. That's next.
This is RP3 and Meche live on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we got to go fast now.
The Houston Astros fell 8-3 to the Washington Nationals yesterday, dropping Game 3 and the series. Spencer Arrighetti struggled in the loss, lasting just 4 innings while allowing all 8 runs on 7 hits and 6 walks. The Astros will have an off day for travel today as they'll head to Dallas to face the Texas Rangers for 3 games in their last series before the All-Star break, and it'll get underway Friday night from Globe Life Field. In the FIFA World Cup, only 1 game will be on today, and it'll be the 2-time world champions France facing Morocco in the first game of the quarterfinals. Kylian Mbappe and his French side are a 1.5-goal favorite over the Moroccans, and kickoff is at 3 p.m. from Gillette Stadium. In the PGA, the Genesis Scottish Open begins play today from the Renaissance Club in North Berwick, Scotland. The favorites for the Scottish Open are Scotty Scheffler at +600, Rory McIlroy at +1,000, and Jon Rahm at +1,600. Former Astro and 3-time Cy Young Award winner Justin Verlander announced yesterday that he'll retire at the end of the season. At 43 years old, Verlander is the oldest active player in Major League Baseball and will wrap up his 21-year career with the team where it all began, the Detroit Tigers. The New Orleans Saints announced their 2026 training camp schedule yesterday. Camp opens on Wednesday, July 29th with a closed practice before the next 5 sessions are open to the fans. Overall, 10 of the team's 14 practices will be open to the public, including joint sessions with the Cowboys in California and the Jaguars in Metairie. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you. ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles is packing its bags and headed to Tampa for SEC Media Days. Tune in starting Monday, July 20th, as RP3 and Meche and The Lowdown with D'Lo will be broadcasting live from Radio Row for ESPN's Live from SEC Media Day coverage, powered by Service Chevrolet Cadillac. Kick off the 2026 season in Tampa with ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Ozempic, Wegovy, GLP-1s. Every day, one thought haunts you. What if I stop? A 2026 British Medical Journal study says you're going to gain every pound back. So, what now? Well, there's an answer. Alex Goen patented hypnosis. The Journal of the American Medical Association says adding behavior therapy to GLP-1s produces 3 times the results than GLP-1s alone. And hypnosis is behavior therapy concentrated. Alex Go and Hypnosis is the only U.S. patented hypnosis proven useful by the U.S. Patent Office. Engineered to destroy cravings, make you full on half the food, and kill late-night fridge attacks. Only $59.99 or your money back. Weight loss seminar Saturday, July 18th at the Hilton Garden Inn Cajun Dome, 11 a.m. Sign up at alexgoen.com. That's ALEXGOEN.com.
BB's Auto Sales has been serving Acadiana since 1966. Cleanest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Need financing? No problem. BB's offers easy financing for all credit types, including in-house financing. Plus, they're paying top dollar for your trade. Voted top 3 dealership in Community Choice Awards 2 years in a row. Visit BB's Auto Sales, 2 convenient locations off Johnston Street and in Abbeville. bbsautosales.com. Cleanest cars in Acadiana.
Acadiana area businesses. Is it time to make an impact? Time for more traffic, more engagement, time for more customers? Then it's time to make a splash with Bass. Bass is now offering digital marketing, indoor and outdoor digital signage, billboards, and video production to help you reach more customers and close more business. For over 30 years, Bass has helped our customers tell their story. Bass Companies. Remember, a business without a sign is a sign of no business. Advertise with Bass. Find us around Acadiana or at bassltd.com.
We are the soldiers of the Louisiana Army National Guard. We are your neighbors. We are your sons and daughters. While we serve part-time, we are learning valuable life and job skills. We are earning money for college, for trade and technical schools, and for certifications. We are proud to serve both our country and our home state. We are your Louisiana Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
This is ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Broadcasting live from the Beal and Hebert studios in Upper Lafayette. Beal and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown lawyers. Back to more of Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
You know, I was taught something long time ago by my parents and then by mentors in this business, that when you don't understand something or you're struggling to comprehend decisions that are being made, that you look to someone who's maybe older than you, that's wiser than you, that can give you some knowledge and help you understand the world a little bit better. And that's what we're going to do today. Because of all the things I've been able to do in my career, I've been able to accomplish a lot of things. Many of them I'm proud of. Some of them I'm not so proud of. I still am learning. And our final guest today is going to help me understand the New Orleans Pelicans a little bit better. He's the award-winning columnist, reporter from CrescentCitySports.com. He covers the Saints. He covers the Pels. He does high school work as well. One of the best guys in the business. And he doesn't hold back either. Les East joins us now. Les, good day to you, my friend.
Well, Raymond, thanks for that introduction. I think maybe you set the bar a little too high for this segment, but I'll do the best I can.
Well, I just need you to kind of – I'm struggling to understand the approach here by Joe Dumars and company with this offseason, because my logical brain goes, okay, where's the moves? Where's all the moves that he made early in his tenure in Detroit where he was able to put together a championship roster that won a title and went to, 8 straight Eastern Conference Finals? Where's that aggressiveness? Where's these moves being made? And it just feels like he's sitting on his hands and not doing anything at all. And I just go to myself, I just think to myself, how are you going to sell this to the general public?
Well, one possibility is that he's trying to lull the rest of the NBA into a false sense of security, but I don't think that's really a good explanation. He may be lulling them into a genuine sense of security, but, I think the only explanation is the simplest one. They have not been able to put together a deal that they like. There's no doubt they've been talking to a lot of teams about a lot of different possibilities, but they haven't pulled the trigger yet because they haven't found a partner in a trade that will give them a deal that they want. You know, people call up and say, well, let's talk about Herb Jones and Trey Murphy III, and they counter with, well, let's talk about Jordan Poole and Jordan Hawkins. And that leaves a pretty wide gulf between the two conversations. So I think at this point they've decided we're not going to make a deal just to make a deal and calm down the internet. We're going to make a deal if and when it makes sense for us. And I do think that a part of the slowness might be due in part to them putting the price tag so high on these guys, which I think is not a bad idea. I mean, there were reports that they were talking about 4 number ones for Trey Murphy. Maybe that's come down, but I think it makes sense to shoot for the moon when you initiate contact with other teams, so you see where the market is. And when other teams start reacting, you get a sense like, well, that's unrealistic, or, well, maybe we can get close to that. Let's adjust our asking price according to the feedback we're getting from the market. So I think that might explain the slowness to some degree, but I think the bottom line is they have not been able to make a deal that makes sense to them. There's still time for that to happen, but you begin to wonder if anything significant is going to happen because so many other teams have already addressed what they wanted to address.
And that leads me to my next question, because we've seen franchises that maybe have been adrift with no direction here the last couple years seemingly have a new direction. We've seen Milwaukee overhauling its roster, heading in a different direction. We've seen Memphis do the same thing. We've even seen the Clippers show some direction. And there sits New Orleans, and it feels like they're okay being Sacramento. Like that's how it feels to me, Les. It just does, because all these other teams that have been lost all of a sudden have purpose and direction, and it feels like New Orleans has none. Like, I have no idea what the direction is of this franchise. None.
Well, I understand that, and I guess I'll make 2 points about that. One is we don't know if those new directions are going to be any good or not.
That's fair. Okay? That's fair.
Memphis got rid of their best player, their franchise player. I don't know if what they got is going to point them in a better direction. The Clippers tore the whole thing down, and they're trying to rebuild from the ground up. And maybe 2 years from now they'll look like geniuses. I don't know. So that's what I think the Pelicans have tried to avoid, is making a move that doesn't make sense to them just to make a move. Now, in order to compete, you're going to have to find a way to create moves that make sense for you. But I do think there is a bit of a new direction here, and that's Jamal Mosley. And I'm not privy to their behind-the-scenes conversations, but it might be that Mosley is saying, you know, I know how I want to play. I know what worked in Orlando. I see a lot of the traits that we need to get better already on this roster. So let's not panic and get rid of some of these big pieces, because I think we have a lot to work with here. And other than DeJounte Murray, all their key players are in their early 20s to mid-20s, so they should all be ascending players still, and this coaching staff has a pretty good track record with player development. So I think it might be that Mosley and Dumars have put their heads together and say, okay, we need to do A and B, and we want to do that, but what we have isn't hopeless. Let's not make it worse by getting rid of a big name just to shake things up and rearrange the chairs on the deck of the Titanic.
That's a fair point. This is why I look to you, okay, on these things. I would have another question, though, here, because they have, and you and I have talked about this before, and I've brought this up this week. Poole and Dawkins are going to account for over $40 million in payroll this year. And those are two players that were benched because they were bad at playing basketball last year. I thought for sure they would make some sort of moves there. And, once again, you got to find a dance partner in these things, right? But, how can you sell it to the public when you're running out essentially the same team from last year? Is having a different head coach enough to galvanize the folks there in the greater New Orleans area to give a crap about this team?
Well, ideally, you would have made a move by now, and a significant move. But I don't think Joe Dumars thinks about selling the team in July. Okay, he the only thing he cares about is putting together a team that can sell itself beginning in October. And that doesn't mean that the team as it's currently constituted is going to be all that exciting, is going to light a fire under the city come October. I don't know, but I think he looks at it and sees that there's something there and he's not going to make it worse. And so far he hasn't been able to find something that he thinks will make it better. So I don't think he gets distracted by, how do I sell this roster? He said, let me put together the best roster I can, and then the performance of the team will bring about whatever enthusiasm it brings about. But I have to put together the best team I can put together. And in Jordan Poole's case, it may well be that what he brings in return won't be attractive until the trade deadline in February because he has an expiring contract. And the cost or the price people are willing to pay for him might go up in mid-season. That's not ideal, but in this case, patience might be the better way to go in that regard.
It's all good points. All right, let's shift over to something that people are actually positive about, and that's about the Saints. There seems to be a lot of excitement about this year's team. We find out the training camp schedule, a lot of open practices for the fans to watch what's going on. What do you make of that decision to kind of open things up and to give people more of a peek behind the curtain, so to speak, as they ramp up for the season?
Yeah, well, those open practices have been very popular for a long time, and given the fact that they're going away for about 11 days to California, where they won't be there, I think they wanted to maximize the opportunities for the public to be able to watch them practice while they are in Metairie. It is something, the crowd gets very enthusiastic. The bleachers are usually full. And I think the team feeds off of that. I think it's a healthy thing at practice. And because there's so much enthusiasm about the team right now, the expectations are higher than they've been in a few years. I think they want to capitalize on that and try and channel that enthusiasm into the team with its practices. So that's that they're always going to try and connect with the public as much as they can, and yet they also have a lot of practices that are closed because I think it's a little easier to focus and keep the players focused on the task at hand and correct mistakes and other things. So I think they're kind of looking at a good balance there between opening it up to the public for a lot of practices, but certainly not for every practice. And then I think the trip to California makes sense because of the weather considerations and the bonding that can take place while the team is away but together.
I'll get you out of here with this. Training camp's going to be here in a few weeks. What's the thing as a veteran journalist that you're going to be looking for? Not the stuff that the Saints is going to try to feed us, not what the fans want. What are some of the things that you're going to be keeping a keen eye on once they go out there and start practicing during training camp?
Well, I think the main thing I'm going to look at is the back end of the defense. The defense actually had a good year last year. It was very good once Chase Young got into shape. The last eight or nine games of the season, the defense was really very good. But Demario Davis is gone. Alontae Taylor is gone. They're a little thin at linebacker. I think the depth in the secondary, it might be the biggest need they still have on the team. And so I'm going to keep an eye on that, because if there's a concern, they've upgraded everything on the offense. So the offense should be much better. If the line stays healthy, I think there could be dramatic improvement there. And the defensive line is the same as last year with a couple of major additions. So all that's fine, but if there's going to be a significant bump in the road, I think it's going to be the back seven on the defense. And so that's what I'm going to be keeping an eye on. How does this group of linebackers and this group of defensive backs look? Because I think they may be the biggest factor in where the ceiling for this team winds up being.
Les, always appreciate your time and your insight, brother. Enjoy your upcoming weekend, my friend, there with your family, and we'll talk to you next week, buddy.
Thanks, Raymond. 2:30 Pelican Summer League opener. I know you're going to be looking forward to that.
Can't wait to watch Fears and Queen out there work on their game. Oh, no, wait.
No, they're not going to be there.
Thank you, buddy.
Okay, see you later.
Yeah. When that decision got made, I said, Joe D's going to run this team back. Like, he's letting you know that the two rookies he took in the lottery last year are going to be starters, and that they're not really looking to shake things up. And that's what that told me. Can I interest you in us going to any G League games in Kenner, Dawson Angelo?
You probably interest my wife in doing that. You have to probably convince me a little harder, but yeah, she's born and raised Kenner. So
there we go.
She loves some Kenner.
There we go. Who doesn't?
Oh, I don't know.
Look, Kenner is far better than Chalmette.
Yes.
Right? We can agree to that?
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
There we go. The Chalmatians. And we can have a whole show about them. We got to take a time out. When we come back, we'll give you an update on the poll question of the day and wrap up today's show and get you set up for the lowdown with D-Lo. That's next.
This is RP3 and Meche, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Road coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
The best businesses aren't just businesses, they're neighbors. Here's a message from a proud certified South Louisiana business.
Bro Bridge Truck Stop Casino. They have the newest games around. Hot seat drawings and monthly specials like no one else. Located on the Bro Bridge Highway and on the banks of the Vermilion River. Come out today and try your luck at the Bro Bridge Truck Stop Casino.
When you support local businesses, you strengthen the communities we call home. Shop local, support local, certified South Louisiana.
Only the best of the best will stand proudly on the platform when Michael's Men's Club brings you the 15th Annual Stripper Olympics. Wednesday, July 15th. It's a special night of fun and games when the Stripper Olympics returns to Michael's Men's Club. Guys, it's a no-holds-barred competition. Ladies, you have a chance to win big if you're in the game. Michael's Men's Club invites you to battle it out in 3 categories. The pole, the floor show, and the most ancient art of them all, the lap dance. With $650 cash per category. First place overall gets $1,500. Second place overall gets $1,000. And third overall gets $500. That's $5,000 in total Stripper Olympics cash to be awarded. Plus a feature in Exotic Dancer magazine. Professional entertainers come from all over the USA to compete for the $5,000 in cash. Guys, mark your calendar and tell your friends, because this is the event you cannot miss. The 15th Annual Stripper Olympics. Wednesday, July 15th at Lafayette's premier gentleman's establishment, Michael's Men's Club. Highway 90 Broussard. Doors open at 5 and show starts at 7 sharp. Tickets $30 at the door. Let the games begin. Get more details now at michaelsmensclub.com.
And now time for the Expert Minute, brought to you by Sugarland Exterminating.
Ever wonder why bugs seem to love your home as much as you do? One big reason, moisture. Roaches, termites, and ants are drawn to damp areas. Check under sinks, around windows, and in attics for leaks and excess moisture. A little home maintenance goes a long way in keeping pests out. Got unwanted guests? Call Sugarland Exterminating at 337-367-1414 or visit sugarlandexterminating.com for more information.
Sugarland Exterminating. Pest-free environment we're creating. Spiders, roaches, rats, and mice. Those awful termites are not so nice. Get rid of all your pests right now. Call Sugarland Exterminating.
Termites, they're here. They're invasive. They can destroy your home if left untreated. Sugarland Exterminating has been in business for over 50 years, and they have the experience to effectively treat termites. Call 367-1414 or visit sugarlandexterminating.com.
And that has been your Expert Minute, brought to you by Sugarland Exterminating.
You know the routine. Eat, sleep, sports talk, repeat.
Well, up and at 'em. We're here.
Here is more daily sports talk from ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles.
Oh, I want to take a moment to thank our guest that joined us on this Thursday edition of the show, Dave Bomer, author. He was tremendous. It's a great book. I know Dawson's a big history guy, big baseball guy. I'm sure he's going to ask me to borrow that book. I will gladly let him borrow it and consume it over
I
the
need
summer.
to read more books.
Yeah, you do.
I saw a stat today that apparently Americans are more likely to place a bet than read a single book in a year.
I saw that too, and it made me cry. It made me cry.
Concerning, right?
Yes, it did. It did.
I need to add to my tally there.
I will say this. Also want to thank Les East from CrescentCitySports.com. The kiddo has been consuming books this summer. They're allowing them to earn some maybe extra credit. So she has to read A Wrinkle in Time because they're going to be doing a presentation and taking a test on it early in the school year, which, by the way, begins in the middle of August or really early August for her. Yeah, it's even earlier this year. But she can also earn extra credit by doing projects on others. So the list, we had some of those books in our library. Yes, we still have physical books. So like she's reading right now The Red Badge of Courage, which is an excellent book, by the way. And I'm trying to get her to read The Hobbit as well because it's on the list as well to earn extra credit. So, yeah, we're big book people in the Parch household.
That's good.
Yeah,
You've really
thank you.
Kind of a lost art.
It is. It is. How about an update on the poll question of the day? Has the pendulum swung at all for people saying that JV deserves to be on the Mount Rushmore of Astros players?
No, and look, I knew there'd be a little pushback here, but I am surprised how overwhelming it's been. You're talking over 90% still saying no to JV on the Mount Rushmore. Your exact number is 91.3. So
I thought it would be more like 60-40 here. I
did as well. I didn't
think it would be that overwhelmingly no. It's so interesting. I've lived to the point now. I've lived long enough to be able to see how things change, where things that used to be kind of standards, Dawson, in my life in baseball, you aspire to hit 300 on the season. That's no longer the case. If you're a pitcher to get into the Hall of Fame, you really had to try to get as close as you could to get to 300 wins. We haven't had a 300-game winner in Major League Baseball since 2009 when the big unit did it. Shout out to Randy Johnson. Professional photographer now as well, including King Griffey Jr. That's weird. Those Mariners guys, they love the photography.
Beautiful part of the country, I guess. Right?
Pacific Northwest.
It inspires you?
Yes. So it's I do wonder what the threshold's going to be now. Is it going to be – because at first I thought, okay, well, it's got to be 250, but now I think that's going to be a struggle.
Well,
is it really 200?
I think it's I wonder if you're going to start to see more about wins above replacement, and I just don't think you're going to use wins as a threshold anymore.
When Pedro got in, that was one of the ones that he didn't hit he wasn't a 300-game winner. So I went, okay. But he was one of the best pitchers of his era, right?
Like, there's not going to be any hesitation on Kershaw, right? There's not going to be any hesitation on Verlander. So I just think it's going to change.
Kershaw was the best left-handed pitcher of his generation.
Right.
So
and Verlander's the best right-handed pitcher of his generation, in my opinion, at least.
So those are first-ballot guys.
Scherzer.
Scherzer, I don't know if Scherzer's going to be a first-ballot guy. I think I would vote for him. But that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, it's just the game changes, right? Yep. And the standards change. So it's interesting to see how that works out. Keep voting on our poll question of the day, though. Keep leaving your comments on YouTube, Facebook, and on X. That's going to do it for us today. We'll be back on tomorrow to wrap up the work week. But up next, this fellow called Dawson Iserloh. He's pretty good. You should stay tuned right here on ESPN, Southwest Louisiana Sports Station.
Did you know you can get great tasting Clear Springs artesian water delivered to your office or your doorstep at home? Clear Springs is 100% local with their own bottling facility at the world-famous Kentwood Aquifer, no chemicals added. Just pure Kentwood, Louisiana artesian water. Clear Springs Water offers delivery of 5 or 3 gallon water service with a hot and cold temperature water cooler or even single-serve bottles delivered to your home or office. Easy to reach, clearsprings.net, then contact us tab or 337-519-3563.
Misfits Dine and Drink, a destination restaurant in